you know you make me wanna shout. Kick my heels up and shout. Throw my hands up and shout. Throw my hands back and shout. Come on now, don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, 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 yeah. Say you will. Say hey, hey, baby. Say you will. Come on, come on. Say you will. Say hey, hey, hey. Say you will. Hey, hey. Say that you love me. Say that you need me. Say that you want me. Say you wanna please me. Come on now.
Welcome to the Car Guy channel. We have a fantastic show. I say it all the time because this is true. We got some really cool stuff. We had a 57 Nomad, just a little bit of a teaser over here on the old Chevy truck that I have, and some projects we got going on in the shop. The Super B, and I mean, this is beyond Super B. This is a Super B. Give you a little bit of a heads up what we're doing on the transmission, the suspension, how that black project's going on with the vinyl top, the palette going on. We have so much work here. You can see we're knee deep over here in rubber on cars for the whole complete event. So hey, do two things. Sit down, get a cold one, and enjoy the show. It's good to see a lot of you guys that have these hobbies that like Mopar cars. We get a lot of cards, got a lot of letters, a lot of emails about this Mopar project that we're building, this Super B. And this right here is going to be definitely a Super B. What I mean by that is we have an engine coming from Illinois that is 775 horsepower. It's coming in. We're putting the Tremec 6-speed in the car. And we made the whole tunnel. We'll show you where the tunnel is underneath the firewall. That's all built, and it turned out absolutely spectacular. That transmission is so big to fit underneath here. We had actually cut pretty much the whole complete tunnel area out of this car. You'll see some photos of how this is cut up. It's pretty cool. It's very, very neat to do. But the biggest thing is we have to do is support the middle of the frame where the torsion bars are. This whole frame, this piece here is custom made that slots into here. We had to go ahead and make these parts to get all the way into here to go ahead and bolt in. So now it finishes it. So now we have a complete surround all the way around, and now it's secure to be able to hold this horsepower of this particular engine and this 5-6-speed transmission. But this is spectacular to do. But that's what we had to do to cut all this here out with the torsion bars. And Estelle's going to go ahead and go underneath this car. She says, what about all the glitter and chrome under here? And there's rack and pinion steering in the front here with all the new parts, the new torsion bars, the back end of the car with the special shocks, Hosket suspension, front and rear sway bars. This car is just going to be utterly fantastic. Cars for Get Ready are a real big deal out there going on. Get cars ready for certain shows, projects people are finishing up and whatnot. Good friend, good customer happened to go ahead and purchase a gorgeous, and I mean a fantastic 1965 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe. And that was my bread and butter for many years back at my old store about 25 years ago. This car here happens to be an NCRS rated car. Now that actually means National Corvette Restoration Society. They go ahead and they go over this car here, I mean from soup to nuts, bumper to bumper. And when I mean soup to nuts, they actually cover and make sure that actually the right nuts, the right bolts, the right texture, the right coating to make this car here what they consider to be 100% correct as it came off the showroom floor and out of the factory for a Corvette. There's so many issues with the NCRS that make sure that these cars are totally correct and restored correctly, is things of the right texture of the nuts and bolts, especially things that hold on, like for the emergency brakes, the exhaust system. These things right here for ground straps have to be in the right spot on the correct side. This one here, the one on the right, it's in the front. This one here is on the left. It's on the very front of this piece here. And as it goes all the way down, there's little clips and little things that make this car here to go together. Estelle's going to go underneath this car with the cameras, pretty much amaze you really how the quality level of the car is done. We didn't build the car. The car was built back east. And that's really how my friend purchased the car from a company that did the restoration on the car. Then it sat for really quite a few years. Here's another project that sat in the garage too long, guys and gals. My good buddy Mark he's had this Nomad really for a long, long time. And of course, it's that time of year to get it out and get it rolling. Last year, he didn't have time to get it out. The year before. Finally, it's time to get this car here out on the road, get it serviced, battery charged, oils changed, and get that old gasoline out of there. 9 times out of 10, this gas has zero shelf life. It's really horrible we make gas that has no shelf life on it because not fuel injected. This is a regular carbureted car. Gasoline still vented into the air. It does evaporate out. We're going to show you under the hood and a few things we did to this 1957 Nomad. Barn finds. That's what this here's all about, is a barn find. And some people go, what the heck is a barn find? What do you do? Well, barn finds are cars that are preserved pretty well or been restored or something very unusual, and it's in the barn, and you write a check and you take it home and you find out really what you got. This rear happens to be a 1946 Chevrolet, and it's actually called a Stylemaster. This car had a complete frame-off restoration and finished in 2000. Figure 1999 was completed, done, going for the drive. We've already had to replace some brake cylinders on the car. Wish they had calipers, had disc brakes, be kind of cool. But no one had disc brakes back then. But we had to replace the actual wheel cylinders because the oils, the fluids sat in there and made it kind of nasty, and it got at pits. It's just no way to get around it. It's just the way it is. And it's called garage rot. It sits in the garage too long. Get your cars out there. But underneath the hood, the chrome on it is just fantastic. But what I want to do, I'm going to take you to the inside of this car because I think it's just spectacular.
Maybe, baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you'll be true. Maybe, baby, I'll